Hello everyone, hope you're well. I had planned to do a video over the weekend, as I did say at the end that I would do one, but actually I think Saturday we spent the whole day doing, the kids had a birthday party they went to, and Claire went out in the evening, and then Sunday I was absolutely ruined. I think I was just a mixture of a bug, and I was getting some slabs for Claire, which crippled me. But the kids had a great time on Saturday. We went to like a play centre type thing. I couldn't film in there. There was kids everywhere, so I just thought I'm not comfortable getting my camera out and filming them run around. But typically we paid like 15 quid for Ben and Emily to go in with Ollie, who was going to a party, so he was in for free. And then Emily was really good, played with Ben, but I think once she'd kind of got bored of that, she was just like, I'm just going to sit here on my phone. And I thought, we could have, I don't know, she couldn't have got in either way, but we could have just left her somewhere with her phone. She's at that age now, she wants to just chat to her mates. But I was just like, ugh. But no, Ollie had a great time running around, blew off a lot of steam. Obviously, he's 3 days into the holidays. They did some sort of laser tag thing up in this kind of room, and it was interesting because I thought about going in with him to watch him because I was worried about it being a bit of an overload on his senses. You know, it's one of those dark rooms with loads of lights. But then I was kind of like, isn't that basically a sensory room with guns? I don't know. So I was kind of weighing it up, and I just thought, well, I don't know how he's going to be, so we'll just let him go for it. I'm not going to be one of those helicopter people who fly around him trying to make sure he's all right all the time, because that just is going to wind him up. So one of the mum of the birthday boy went with them anyway, just to keep back. She played in the game. But after a little while, someone popped out and said if any of us wanted to join in, we could. So I didn't, because I was a wuss, but I sat with Ben. But I actually thought I'd be I don't know, I'm a bit big to be getting in there with a load of 8-year-olds, and they'd probably end up either dogpiling me or running into me. But anyway, Claire and Emily went in and had a punt. Just as they arrived, Ollie won a game, which I was really impressed with. He was absolutely fine, so I'm pleased to know that he A, likes that, B, was good at it, and C, it didn't cause any problems. That night Claire went out, so I was a bit nervous. I don't know what it was. I was a bit like, I felt really run down. I think I was coming down with a bug. Might have been my my jab or something. But I sort of said to her, like, I just feel ridiculous. And she was like, the night off will do you good. You'll just chill out and you'll feel really good after it. So I basically had all the beer in the house that I could find, or whatever. I watched Creed 2, it's like basically Rocky 8, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I watched some Good Girls. I think it was Anna recommended it to me, so I've been watching that, and that's been enjoyable. And yeah, Claire got home about 1 o'clock in the morning, the stop out. That was great fun because I dropped her off. We've driven all the way out there, and then again I mentioned this on Twitter, so sorry if anyone's already heard me say this, but we pulled up and Ollie went, I need the toilet, and Claire was like, we're like 15 minutes from home, and he was like, I need it now. So we had to go in the house, and apparently he was walking around the house just going, it's so lovely in here, it's so beautiful, what's in that cupboard, what's in there? And they were just like laughing and letting him just do what he did until he went to the toilet. But he came out going, what a lovely house, and he was really funny. So then I was annoying them with music all the way home. Emily's found a harmonica in her room. I think Claire got it for her randomly from somewhere, and I was showing her I think it's Metallica cover, a song called Tuesday's Gone, and in the middle there's a harmonica solo for about, like, I don't know, 45 seconds. I said to her, do you reckon you can learn that? So when we got home, she was trying to play it, which was quite funny because it was just noise at that point. She's early days, but Ollie was trying to play the guitar bits. I thought between the three of us, we could form our own Metallica tribute band for that one song, but I was impressed that she didn't find it too... I thought she was going to find it horrific, but she was quite into it, which was cool. Sunday, I had to lie in because I was knackered, which I feel a bit bad about because Claire was up till 1, 2, but she let me sleep in because I was unwell. She did then punish me a little bit when I got up. She said to me, the neighbour down the road has like 16 massive slabs of concrete that they're offering up, and they match the ones we've got in our garden. So if I'm willing to go over there with a wheelbarrow that they'll lend me, I can bring them all back. Being a bit of an idiot, I thought, well, a wheelbarrow is going to be a right pain. So I said, well, why don't I reverse the car across the road, load up the boot, and then reverse it back and just dump them in the garden? And that was horrific. I ruined my clothes. My hands were aching. All my muscles, my back were aching for the rest of the day. I still haven't fully recovered today. I broke one of them as well. There's like 16 slabs, and now we only have 15 left. We found we have a few in our garden, so we're planning on doing a patio job at some point. I don't think that's the kind of thing that well, part of me is like, we're bound to make mistakes. I should film the whole thing and then edit it into just a you've been framed gag reel, basically, of me making mistakes. But part of me thinks if we do a good job, I'll be disappointed I didn't get anything funny out of it. If we do a bad job, I'll be annoyed I've ruined my patio. But yeah, apparently we're going to be doing that. I'm hoping that's not when I'm planned to be off for 2 weeks at the end of August, because I just really want to sleep and do nothing. I'm a bit burnt out, I think. I'm feeling a bit better today, actually. I think it was a combination. Whenever I have my jab, I just kind of crash and then I get better. So it was, yeah, a little bit worrying when I was just feeling all off, but I'm okay now. So then that was the weekend, and I was going to do videos about what we did and out and about. I said I couldn't really film when we went, and that then it got derailed. So then today I was like, what am I going to do about it other than a recap of the weekend? And I did put a feeler out. Somebody asked me a question. Hotshot Rollins asked me, it's the end of the world as we know it. RB6K feels fine. What would you do if you last 24 hours aside from your natural talent of herding sheep? And I was like, that's a brilliant question. So I asked Twitter if anyone else had any other questions, so I could do a Q&A style, you know, I'll answer some questions at random. I realised that doing that an hour and a half before I record a video was very short notice. So I'm thinking, whilst I'll answer that question, if anybody else has questions and puts them in the comment here, that would be really helpful to do another video in the week. I can answer all the questions. So if you have any, pop them in there. But I like that question. What would I do if it was my last day on Earth and if I knew about it? Now, it depends on two things. If it says it's the end of the world as we know it. So in that scenario, everybody is not going to be around tomorrow. I was thinking about this all the way home and all the way around the house, and I thought to myself, do you know what? That is fascinating, because I don't really know beyond. I feel like I'd want to talk to everybody one last time, and it's really interesting thinking how you'd kind of want to do that, because my parents live a 2-hour drive away. So my option there, and it's a nightmare scenario in a way, obviously, because it's the end of the world, but my parents live 2 hours away. Claire's parents live 2 minutes away. My direct, family are here. My sister's 2 hours away in the opposite direction. So I'd kind of have to be like, I don't know. I'd have to make Claire's brother, who lives in London, go to my parents, convince my in-laws to go to my parents to see him, convince my sister to go down to my parents. My brother-in-law's parents live down the road, so that's another incentive for them to go there. And then we'd all have to go down there. But I imagine the traffic's going to be a nightmare on the last day on Earth. And who wants to waste 2 hours? We'd have to be getting up at midnight, finding out it's the end of the world in the next 24 hours and go straight down there. But then on that way, I'd have to have a constant rolling phone call with each of my friends. I'd have to be ringing you up going like, oh, it sucks that it's the end of the world. We've had a great innings, great life. I think I'd probably spend most of that time just catching up with people, saying goodbye. I'd probably do, let's say 30 calls and then be like, that's everybody. And they'd be like, oh, no, I haven't spoken to One-E, I'll ring One-E. And then, oh, I haven't spoken to the Fonz, I'll ring him. I'm just making up names that come to mind. But once I've rang everyone, I don't know how much time there'd be even left, but what would you do? I'd get to my mum and dad's, probably cry a lot. Then they've always got a massive stock of booze. That's another incentive to drive down to theirs. They always have a lot of wine, a lot of whiskey, a lot of other alcohol. So I imagine if they haven't already drank it before we even get there, we'd probably spend the rest of the time getting drunk. But then that's not good for the kids. I don't know how we'd entertain them. I almost wanted to ask them this question, and I thought that's really bad for kids to be thinking about that. I was going to rephrase it to, it's your last day of holidays. You've got a day to do whatever you want. What would you do? But they're not about. So, yeah, I don't know what else I would do. I'd kind of think, I'd want to know how stuff ended, but I'm not going to spend my last day on Earth like finishing Orange is the New Black or like reading books and stuff. I think maybe if I needed the loo, you'd almost want to hold it on the last day on Earth, wouldn't you? But if I had to spend 10 minutes on the loo, I'd probably flick through some comics online and just finish Giant Days, that ends soon. Finish The Wicked and Divine, that ends this month. I'd like to think the people who are writing them would go, do you know what, I was going to release it next week, but the world's ending, so let's release it now. But who knows, they might be too busy. But I'd probably check Twitter and go, oh, is The Wicked and Divine finishing now? Brilliant. Have a quick read of that. You've got to when you've invested that much time into it. It'd be a little bit frustrating to know. That'd be one of the last things I'd be thinking as the world's ending. I'd be thinking, I never got to finish that comic series. But that's me being a bit of a weirdo. I can't think of anything else I'd want to do. Like, I'm quite content that I've done all the things I particularly wanted to do, which is why I find stuff so hard, because my list of things to do was quite broad and generic in terms of like, I wanted to meet someone, settle down, get married, have kids, get a good job, have a car, buy a house. I've done those things now, so I'm kind of just getting frustrated in the back end of that. But there was a bit of a worrying bit where I thought I'd be quite relieved. I'd be relieved I wouldn't have to spend the next 50 years grinding towards retirement, but I wouldn't be relieved. That would quickly pass before dread. But no, it's been a fascinating sort of thought process. I think I'd make... ultimately, that's it. I'd be making a lot of calls. I'd be trying to think of ways to convince people to meet my parents. I don't think most other people would bother doing that because they have their own priorities. But I'd definitely be able to convince those blood relatives to all get down there, and yeah, we'd just drink and have fun, I think, and tell stories and wind each other up. That seems like the ultimate way to do it. That seems like the kind of thing that they should do. I don't know, there should be a TV show for these random scenarios. I know there's like Marvel's What If or Black Mirror, but there's not enough. Twilight Zone, I don't think they did an episode like that. That's more like, oh, this should just be more, this is what happens. But no, I like that question. And I didn't think, I was like, I need more questions to fill a vlog on these, but that one was an awesome one. Gaming Time 101 asked what my favourite game of 2019 this year is so far. I didn't need to say this year when I said 2019. Mario Maker 2 seems like the obvious answer because it is an awesome game. If you haven't got it yet and you've got a Switch, you need to get it as a priority. If you were umming and ahhing what to get a Switch, get that. It's fantastic. I don't think I need to say anything more than that. It's annoying that I can't say Pokemon Go for this year, really, because it's a 2016 game, but they've just brought out the Team Rocket feature, and Ollie's firmly back on the bandwagon with that. We drove around. That was one thing we did do on Sunday, despite being incredibly knackered and my arms and shoulders were killing me from lifting. We did drive around Deeping for an hour fighting Team Rocket. He loved it. He was having so much fun. I went out earlier and caught a Shadow Snorlax, which was the only thing I wanted yesterday, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, they had like Shadow Rats, Shadow Squirtle, Shadow Charmander, Shadow Bulbasaur. Yeah, you just basically fight them with your Pokemon. It's fantastic. This game has just managed to just find a new level to go to, and that's absolutely brilliant. So whilst it's not my game of this year because it can't be, it's definitely the game I love the most still. But Mario Maker 2 is fantastic, and as I say, get it. If I knew how to, I'd record videos of that now and again, but I know Kev does. But I don't want to just copy Kev's videos, to be honest. I know I am already doing a vlog. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up there because this has been long enough. If you've got questions, I'd love to do a question and answer type job. About anything. It can be... Oh, I'm knocking this bloody thing back. It can be literally about anything that you want. I'm happy to just, answer questions. It can be, important, serious questions. It can be silly questions. It can be, I've been wondering about this. It could be whatever you like. Just ask me some stuff. If I get 5 or 6, I'll do video. That covers a video. More than that, brilliant. I'm going to wrap up. But yeah, hope you've all had a good first few days of the summer holidays. I've got 3 weeks until I'm off. And then I'm free for, I think it's 16 days. I booked 9 days off, but I get 16 for it because of bank holidays and weekends. That is glorious, and I can't wait. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.